All right, for our next segment, we got should the Las Vegas Raiders look into firing head coach Josh McDaniels? Now, Kyle, again, you're a Saints guy, but I'll let you speak on this because Josh McDaniels and this organization, and I mean, looking at it from an outside point of view too is huge. And I'm a Raiders fan, so let me just go on a little bit of a rant here. Just earlier today, I tweeted about there was a video that went loose of a bunch of fans, okay, from the Raiders were screaming at Mark Davis, telling him that they should fire, Josh McDaniels. Mark Davis responded. He retaliated and told them to smarten up. So clearly it shows that he still supports Josh McDaniels, but the Raiders haven't looked good. Let's be honest. They have completely regressed since John Gruden left Las Vegas. What do you think? I mean, being an outsider, looking at this organization from an outside perspective, looking in, has Josh McDaniels, had a fair shot, or has he regressed this team? Or, I mean, do you think he's getting unfair criticism? What do you think from the outside looking in?
Well, from the outside looking in, what you can see is the Raiders have a lot of talent, at least offensively, and not much is coming from that alone. You got Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams, Jimmy Garoppolo's not talented, but you can see he's talented, but you can see what he does with talent around him, right? Like when in San Francisco, they had a good offense even with Jimmy Garoppolo running it, and you're not getting the same out of that with Josh McDaniels, which understandably you're not the same. They're not the same as the 49ers, but there's so much talent on that team offensively at least, and you should be getting a different product. I want to bring up that you talked about the John Gruden. Ever since John Gruden left, um, and John Gruden was, I mean, he got the best for you out of Derek Carr. You guys were winning with John Gruden, and the situation that transpired where he ultimately ended up out the job, and you guys had to get in replacements for him. Um, you can just see the difference. You can see the difference there. That one was winning. You were winning games. You brought out the talent, and Josh McDaniels, even with Devontae Adams, John Gruden never had. It's not getting the same product.
Yeah. Let me put it this way too, because a lot of it goes around with the Raiders, and I hate to keep on bringing up the past, but it's the recent past, and I feel like you got to look at it, because if you don't look at it, we're just trying to, turn a blind eye. We're acting like, oh, it never happened, so we can't talk about it. You know, John Gruden and Mike Mayock, everyone wants to knock the Raiders for missing on draft picks. I mean, again, being an outside guy, right? I mean, they did miss, right? Cleve Farrell, Alex Leatherwood, right? There was definitely misses there. But when you also think like Gruden got, right, our franchise left tackle and Colton Miller. We also got Divine Diablo, a linebacker that's still there. They got Josh Jacobs, who's a franchise running back. They drafted some sleepers, right? Like Max Crosby, who's a franchise edge rusher, and another franchise player in Trayvon Merring was another guy that I feel like is going to be a franchise guy as a free safety position. Henry Ruggs was honestly going fine for the Raiders. And as soon as Gruden left and resigned, that 1 week where there was a transition period between coaches, Henry Ruggs went out, and next thing you know, he crashed. So you got to wonder, I mean, if Gruden was still there and there wasn't that transition period and maybe the team kind of loosened up a little bit, would that have happened? Yeah, any little thing could have changed every single instant, like little tiny thing that happened. And, you think about it, Henry Ruggs was a clean guy. There was nothing wrong about him out of Alabama. He was a phenomenal person. I just think a little tiny mistake, man, completely changed that man's life, and it changed the lives of many others too. It stinks. So what's your opinion? I mean, everyone knocks the Raiders drafting, right? Arnett and stuff, I know, but they had their fair share of hits with Hobbs, Foster Moreau, who was a guy, Darren Waller they brought in. What's your take? I mean, just looking at what Gruden and Mayock was able to build, did they build a solid team, or was it just, ugh?
Oh, well, I mean, the first round picks thing that really like the first round they missed so much in the first round, and you have like franchise changing players all around in the first round. That's where you're gonna really hit on those guys, and they missed on what Leatherwood, Arnett. I guess you could put Ruggs in there, like and Cleveland Farrell. I don't even remember his name fully, but
Yeah.
you missed on a lot of first round guys, and there's so much talent in the first round. You really don't want to keep consistently missing. And me as a Saints fan, I've seen the Saints do that with defensive ends, Peyton Turner, Marcus Davenport, who they traded 2 first round picks. That it starts getting. I understand the frustration when you start missing on the first round because those guys could really be 16-year veterans or 10-year veterans that are consistently putting up big numbers for you. So I get the frustration that's there, but I mean there is good players in that roster and there's talent, and they even used some of that draft. Well, not Gruden, but like when Devontae Adams came in, they paid. They're willing to make moves, so the roster there is there. I would say you guys probably have a shakier defense, but the talent is on the roster is there, and you're just not getting the best out of it, or what I even think is the good parts out of it. You're not really pulling the talent out of the players and seeing it every day.
And that's the issue, right? Because the talent's there, right? I always say, here's my opinion. I coach football, and I always say this to everybody. I say it to the parents, I say it to my other coaches. A good coach makes lack of talent exceed, right? Like Mike Tomlin's been able to make a pretty shitty Pittsburgh team for years compete. That's a good coach. A bad coach is a coach that takes talent and makes them look like crap, right? Maybe like the Raiders, right? They got talent and they look like crap. And an okay average coach is a guy that takes average talent and makes them look average, or makes good talent look good, or bad talent look bad. That's an average coach, right? They don't make the team better than they are, but they also don't make it worse than they are. Josh McDaniels may fall under a bad coach because I think the talent's there, especially offensively. I mean, Hunter Renfrow was an 1,000-yard receiver under John Gruden and Derek Carr. He's not even getting the ball thrown to him right now. And again, here's another reason why I think that Josh McDaniels should be fired. He took talent that was there. He came in, him and Ziegler came into the Raiders, and they promised the Raiders fans that they were going to come in, build on the team that was there, and be playoff contenders. And they absolutely failed on that agenda. And when you fail on your promise, you should be fired. And they promised the people that they were going to take the talent, add Chandler Jones, add Devontae Adams, and win. And instead, they got rid of Jonathan Abram. They got rid of Trayvon Mullen. They got rid of Cleve Ferrell. They got rid of Derek Carr. They got rid of Darren Waller. They're getting rid of, let's be honest, they got rid of Foster Moreau, but Devontae Adams isn't going to be around too much longer if we keep this up. Josh Jacobs isn't going to be around too much longer if we keep this up. So when you tear apart the entire team and you try to make it the Patriot way, look what happens. I mean, how many times have we saw this fail over and over and over again? Multiple times. So when you ask me, should he be fired? I believe so. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. But what's your final opinion? Do you believe, I shouldn't even say should he be fired, because I feel like we're all going to probably say yes, but I'll let you touch on that. But also, do you think Josh McDaniels, when his 10 years over with Las Vegas, does he turn this team around before he's fired? Let me ask you that.
I don't think so. I don't think Josh Jacobs is a Raider next year. He signed a 1 year deal, right? It's the 1 year
Yeah,
deal
it's a
that Saquon.
franchise tag. Yep.
Oh, he's still on a franchise tag. Yeah.
Well, they made a 1 year. They
Okay. I get what you
changed
mean.
and
Yeah. The
modified it. Yeah.
Saquon. Yeah, the Saquon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think Josh Jacob is a Raider next year. And when you lose your running game, and I'm with the crowd with replacing running backs is pretty easy, but you have talent Josh Jacobs that someone's not going to be able to replicate at least right away, and you're going to lose your running game. Jimmy Garoppolo needs a running game. Devontae Adams needs to win. He doesn't want to be a part of a losing team consistently. So I think one more failing season is probably going to drive a lot of your players out, and you're going to have to go to a rebuilding / regroup stage. And even if he's given another year, it's not going to be enough.
No, I don't think so either. And I 100% agree with you said. I think that, at this point, you might as well give him another year because he got rid of everything. It's not like we can have someone come in and save the Raiders, right? We're going to still have Carr. We're going to still have Jacobs. We're going to still have Waller and Renfro. And that once McDaniels is gone, we still have everything that Gruden built and Mayock built, and we're going to be fine. It's all gone now. They got rid of almost everybody that they brought. It's going to need a rebuild. So you might as well give McDaniels one more year, let him fail again, and then just start it all over. But it just stinks because people like Mad Max Crosby, he's playing in his prime right now. He's going to only get better right for the next few years, but you still want to hit right now. And we're just not there. And now you got to start to wonder, like Gruden did, he traded away Khalil Mack for 2 first-round picks. He traded away Amari Cooper to get draft capital. So as much as I love Mad Max Crosby, and I never want to see that guy go, and Devontae Adams is a hell of a player. You got to start wondering when this new regime comes in, or even McDaniels, if they fail again, will they begin that rebuild process, and will Mad Max Crosby and Devontae Adams be Raiders long term? That's the question I want to hear from you guys in the comment section below. That's all from us. Again, I don't think either of us are happy with Josh McDaniels and what he's been able to do for the Las Vegas Raiders. Again, real fast, one more thing I want to mention. Josh McDaniels' all-time coaching record is 18-31. And Coach John Gruden that everyone wants to hate on because, and again, it's not because of the stuff that he did. What he did was wrong, right? His emails, absolutely. But the reason why a lot of Raiders fans hate on him because they feel like he wasn't getting the team in the right direction. And his all-time record coaching was 117-112. He has a winning record. Again, Josh McDaniels, 18-31. So, yeah, that's not good at all. That's all from us. We're going to do the next segment now. See you guys soon. Peace. We are Built Better.
180. 180, set.
Hehehehe